Thank you. So this Ocean Action campaign deals with a problem that has a huge dimension that you all know. The numbers are overwhelming. 8 million tons of plastic each year reaching the ocean. Most of it sinks into the bottom of the ocean. 7 to 80% of the plastic goes down to the bottom, where it's not possible to take it out. A part stays floating, about 300,000 tons, mostly in the gyres, and all plastic degrades and breaks down into tiny bits of microplastic. The problems are, for mammals and for animals, are disastrous. More than 2 million species die each year because they get entangled or they eat plastic debris. And the cocktail of contaminants is quite dangerous. As they break down, they release contaminants to the sea, and they also store several toxics as heavy metals and pesticides. And this is the nasty cycle of plastics that begin in human behavior and bad disposal of plastic, which in the sea they break down into microplastics. They get eaten by zooplankton or little fish. They enter the food chain and they end up in our plate. And all of these begin with our habits, our daily habits, and most of the people is unaware of this problem. So we began a project with a quite small funding, 2 small scheme projects financed by EEA grants, which in total were about 30,000 euros. And we began with choosing a name, choosing a logo. We used a participatory approach, a voting scheme to choose the name and to choose the logo. And at the end, we chose this one that symbolized what we wanted. A problem, but a possibility, an action that we want to realize. And the project itself was divided in several action areas, some of which were more traditional, like beach cleaning and actions in school, hands-on activities and so. But we tried to enter a more artistic approach and combination of different languages to reach different publics. And so we had a collaboration with the artistic school to build big sculptures to put in public places in Porto City. We also did a theater play, and we ran several contests with 4 modalities, and also itinerant exhibitions and videos. So some of the results in the more traditional activities, we involved more than about 14 schools and about more than 2,000 students with different activities, mostly related with plastic and microplastics. We performed 30 beach cleanings, which gave these impressive results of more than 14,000 collected items, which were used, some of them, to the contests that the schools performed. 4 modalities: awareness posters, recycle art, photo report, and infography. And some of the prizes, the infography, it's a quite useful tool to communicate about problems. and they seem to understood quite well several of the problems we passed them. The awareness posters with different languages, from digital to art, and some curiosities like this turtle that was entangled with the plastic and get the shell with an abnormality. The photo reports, recycle art, and we awarded all the schools and the best projects with several prizes. We also did a traveling exhibition where we used mostly infography to spread information. We did not use much text. We used several areas where the visitors had to experience some emotional feeling, in this case to pass in a plastic sea, how they could feel if they were a fish in a plastic sea. We used several sculptures and artistic objects to communicate only through art some messages, like here the cycle of contaminants from microplastics to our plate, and animals that get entangled with debris. We use video, and we use also some objects like this plastic supermarket, where we used the objects collected in the beach cleaning, and the information were in the labels. For the infography, we had in the morning great presentations by Eve Kelsey and Tom Dusher, remind us about the visual impact of infography and good visuals. And this task is to get the message simple is sometimes hard, and the process began with choosing the main message, the main icons, main symbols, and then to refine it and to put message short enough, had more visuals, more information into it, and for instance to include some windows with did you know kind of information, like here is a comparison of the biomass of phytoplankton in the oceans with the number of elephants. In some cases, like in those 4 examples, it was a straightforward exercise of 4 versions, maybe 1 week of work. Here we have the first version, and we thought we were almost ready, but we took about 10 versions to get to the final version. And the effort is always to get the message clean, direct, and easy to understand. Here, information about microplastic cycle coming from cosmetics or through plastic, and of course, at the end, always the take-home message. What can we do at our home, in shopping, everywhere, and in the community actions. We made the translation of the locution of several videos, and we had this collaboration with this artistic school to pass the message through a different language. So we used only artistic language in these 2 cases. In this case, we adapted the story of Little Mermaid, where at the bottom of the sea where they live, suddenly several objects, debris, began to arise which were seen firstly as treasures, as gifts from humans, but slowly they understood that it was a threat for all the animals that live there, and I just. No? There was a little sketch there about the theater, but it is no longer available, no problem. And we also made this other project with the schools from fine arts about sculptures. We wanted to put it in symbolic places of the city. So it was a long process from brainstorming to planning to design, production. Oh, it's out of the place. This is a YouTube joke.
Ela parece pior do que há pouco. Eu acho que já não mais nada a fazer. Temos de fazer alguma coisa, não podemos deixar assim. Espera, eu vou tentar uma coisa. Eu acho que é melhor tirar uma daqui.
Okay, you understand the idea. So the long process of the sculptures, from the design to the authorization of the city council, we choose, for instance, the most emblematic area of Porto that is in front of the city hall, and the central station and one of the main squares of pedestrian streets in Porto. And at the end, we got this result, which got the attention of many people that was simply passing by, that was not prepared to get information about plastic pollution, but they were attracted by the sculptures. And the sculptures travel through several places. They travel to metro station, water pavilion, and to other places. And the results in all the places were all the same. Lots of people stopping by, taking pictures, reading the legends, and understanding a bit more about the problem of the plastics in the sea. We also combine some of these products. That we made a public presentation of the theater besides the sculptures, and of course we have normal dissemination channels as this website and Facebook, and we tried to get attention from media, and we got some attention in the local and national news. As final remarks, we can say for sure that art and science is more than a promising marriage. It's a success marriage. It's not a novelty, but it's still uncommon, and it is worthwhile to invest more in this combination. The drama of this project that is ending is financing this year is how to maintain a project after the end of the funding. And we all pass this drama that is after we have a completely developed program and products, how do we maintain and scale it up? And maybe one of the possibilities is to look for international collaborations to scale up this huge problem that is plastic pollution in the ocean. And maybe this conference and workshop that we will have afterwards will get us somewhere close to that. Thank you.